There's one huge update that's set to completely redefine the future of mainline Sonic games, and honestly this is wild because it's going to change the way Sonic looks, moves, and feels in ways fans have waited for years. And with the success of Shadow Generations, Sonic Crossworlds, and the blockbuster Sonic movies giving Sega a massive boost, and excitement for the franchise has never been higher. But now, Sega is taking things to a whole new level, and today I want to break down the key detail behind Sonic Frontiers 2 and everything that we need to know with the model overhaul, and that improves how Sonic is officially returning to form. And trust me, you don't want to miss a second of this because, like, we can use the way that Crossworlds has represented Sonic, and just in general the whole idealization of Sonic's model back into the franchise. But before we dive in, make sure you like and subscribe, but only if you like me as a person. You've heard me say that like 10 times. And also, we're trying to aim for 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you can help me out, that'd be super awesome. But anyway, I don't want to go too in-depth into this, but if you remember in the previous video, we looked at this model, and I love the asymmetricalness of this model and how Sonic actually looks like a blend of the 06 model, the Adventure model, and the modern Boost model, but also kind of has that blend of the Forces and Frontiers look, and also can capture, like, if you were to show someone this model, I feel like universally most fans would appreciate the way that Sonic has blended all of his current and past and future identities into this one model. You could even make an argument to say that this looks similar even to the movie models, which is crazy to say, and honestly, this is my pitch for the perfect Sonic model. But there's something interesting that we want to look at in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. Now, if you guys remember this test, this is kind of like the ideal way that I would love Sonic to look in the future, and especially because of the way not just only like the animations are, but also because of the way the model is able to interact with the environment. And what's incredibly special about this is that Sonic is more animatable in this kind of art style, because I find that with Sonic Forces or even Frontiers, the model is lacking a lot in the way that its eyes can animate to be able to flush out its maximum potential. And yes, you can bring up the argument that this looks pretty awesome, and yes, this is largely due to the squash and stretch, but also I find that there is a lot of missed potential here with the way the model can look, such as using the eyebrow expression, the actual mesh of the head, and also just in general, just the way that the shoes can look and the way how Sonic's stature can just like define aura, if that makes sense. And you might be asking some of the information that would be important in this video. Now, this is interesting, because if you have a look at this model, this is from the Up on Green Hill Sonic the Hedgehog by MV Dreams Come True. Look at how this model looks. I think this is a perfect blend between Idealizing the Unleashed and Forces, Frontiers, Colors model. I think this looks awesome, because not only do you see the expressiveness with the way that there are outlines on Sonic's mouth and his overall face, and the mesh of the eyes and like the glow, but you also kind of see the hinted aspects of the 06 model, which is I absolutely love. I want to know what you guys in the comments think of this model. Please give me like pointers or anything. I don't know why someone's choosing it, but this looks awesome. So make sure if you go in the description, right, and go and check out MV Dreams Come True, I'll leave that in the description. This looks awesome. I love this model so much. I love how Sonic can have so much expression just from smiling, because especially in a lot of the previous models, we've had issues with that. Now we're going to continue with the role of important information as the video goes on. Now also, I kind of want to show off this model as well, because I find that people will say that like we need more expression on Sonic, but honestly the current model and the way that they're handling it, I think it's okay. Now, I'm not saying that there's any problems with the model, especially in the Shadow Generations cutscene, but also at the same time, I find strongly that this model has so much potential to actually look better too, and by no means am I criticizing Sega or Sonic Team harshly here. I want to just make that abruptly clear in the comments, so don't say that I'm a nitpicker or I'm a Sonic fan that's going crazy. This is me genuinely giving advice, and notice how in a lot of my videos I've said 90% that Sonic is killing it. They are doing amazing in the movies, in the franchise, in the sales, everything. Sonic is absolutely crushing it out there. And another thing I wanted to mention as well is not just the way the model looks, but also the way that the jump can look, because Treatovic said, tired of pretending the Frontiers jump ball isn't the best in the series, yet it's so widely hated, while legit the ugliest one is for some reason so glazed and genuinely has to have some nostalgia bias. Now, I think that the ball in Frontiers is, and especially even Forces, I find it to be underwhelming in the way that it's actually executed, and I love it personally for its own design. Like, I love the design quirk of it, but the issue I find is the way that its animation is incorporated. I think if they were to add some transitions in and transitions out of this jump ball, it would flush out so much better. And also just being able to add a little bit more curvature and some more animalistic detail like, especially from fur, considering Sonic is, like, they kind of just have, like, these, like, blue lines, but if they were to actually, like, make it a little bit more realistic, but not too realistic to the point where it looks like movie Sonic, I think that'll look a bit creepy, that would be awesome. Obviously, the adventure one is just a PNG of Sonic, if you've noticed that already. But then also, like, some people are saying that I don't get the model glaze here. There are a lot of people saying that this doesn't look great, and fair play to them. Like, I think this looks awesome, but does it look amazing, like phenomenal, incredible? I would say it's like an 8.5 out of 10. I think this looks great, but it's not like phenomenal. I think if I would want it, I would want a little bit of a darker shade on Sonic, but for what this is, this would look incredibly official. This would look like Sonic, like an actual, if that makes sense. Anyway, I wanted to show this off as well. This is from the Sonic City, a better look at the Sonic render from the Tokyo Game Show for Sonic Crossworlds. And I love the way that this model looks here, because the Sonic not only has that darker sheen of blue, but also his eyes are more expressive, his mouth is longer, and also I just love the way that Sonic just has that oozement of character. You can tell, this isn't just someone who's trying to act animalistic or like a character of just pure, like, how do I explain it? Like Crash Bandicoot? But you can tell, Sonic is cocky, and he's gonna beat you up. I'm not gonna be profane in this video. And also, this is something as well that I wanted to express as well. This is by Shadow the Hedgehog fan. I love the way that some of the mods have made Super Shadow and Super Silver. If we were to see some iterations of the way that these models would develop in Sonic Frontiers 2, I would absolutely adore that. And also just in general, just the way that Shadow just has like this immense aura of power just by the way he looks. I think that they've officially nailed the Shadow model in Generations, like Shadow Generations, but I think Frontiers 2 is going to have to develop a lot on Sonic to actually meet the quality of Shadow Generations. Now, I also wanted to show this off. This is a trailer for PUBG X Sonic. I want to know what you guys think of the model in this trailer, and also just in general, what do you think of it? Now, honestly, for me, I'm a bit mixed, but this is Sonic running through the PUBG, PUBG bridge, and like obviously someone's wearing like a Sonic kind of skin. Let me know what you think of the model here. I mean, obviously it's a promotion, but you can obviously see Sonic Crossworlds. You can see Sonic looking quite skinny. Honestly, the Super Sonic model here is actually really cool. I love how they're like making utilization of like the way that Sonic's power can be represented. I don't really get the whole like gameplay style of it, but I'm currently just looking at the animation. So yeah, let me know what you think of that. And also, we've got some people saying, I like when Sonic's jumping into a ball actually looks like Sonic propelling into a ball and not just him becoming a giant glowing nuclear cyan marble. And I can get that. I can fully understand that, but that's what I was saying about the jump in, jump out animations. I think that the way that Sonic just jumps into this like blue sphere is not only unrealistic, but also kind of looks a bit janky. When you're actually in the ball, I think it looks great. I think it looks awesome, but like the actual animation for going in the ball needs to be further developed. And I feel like Frontiers 2 is going to fully explore that. Hoping I'm not going to eat my own words there. And also, we just got like this overall pitch from Pula. He has a chin. I don't know. What do you guys think about Sonic having a chin? I don't know, me a bit unpopular. And there's also a mod for Amy's Extreme Gear, and obviously we can look into the design of Amy. I feel like Amy needs to stay the same. I think that she's okay, I just think she needs more expressive animation. I think Amy looks fine, honestly. And also, this is kind of like an innovation that was by SIB, and this is kind of like some creative design for the jump ball. I think that this looks awesome, like adding a little bit more of the hedgehog vibe to it. I still think I would place more emphasis on the it jumping into the animation, because if you play Frontiers, it's extremely noticeable on how you can actually jump into that motion. But the issue with it is it's too fast. I feel like they need to make the jumping animation a bit slower to where you're actually able to see more microframes. But in terms of just the way that it looks in motion, I think it looks great. But obviously adding a little bit more of the spikes and the curvature would look awesome. I would absolutely adore that. And also, this is kind of like a cool way that Sonic could look with his shoes, and the way that Super Sonic in general just looks so badass and awesome in this Sonic Adventure by Spooky Sammy Skeleton. I think that the way that Sonic is supposed to look is not only supposed to be incredibly cool, but he's supposed to kind of be like a skinny exoskeleton. Sonic needs to have that skinny feeling back, and that's why 06 6 is the solution. And that's also why I kind of like this design by Moshu. I like this particular way that Sonic would stand out, especially with the long quills. I know that's a huge thing that Sonic fans want to come back, and that's a massive topic of debate that we could discuss in a future video. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments about this idealized type of Sonic model. I would honestly love that, and this is like the main model that pretty much everyone unequivocally wants. Everybody wants, not the werehog. I'm talking about the this main just model of modern Sonic. I think it looks great. I think there's nothing wrong with this model. I just think it needs not AI upscaling, pixel upscaling. Now, this is the penultimate part of the video. I believe this is the best thing I've ever seen. I want to know what you guys think of this. I actually really like this. I think he looks a little bit too cartoonish, but the actual stance of this, I think it's great. I think this is awesome. Let me know what you think of this model. I think that we need to go back to the seriousness and the old tone of the 06 model. I think that would look awesome. Now that's better. I'm finally giving him the 06 pose justice. Yeah, this is great. And also, if you want to take part in Sonic fan art, make sure that you go in the description down below to Twitter and make sure you submit your submissions. And also make sure to get rid of any of the hate, because it's your drawing. You should be proud of it, obviously, and don't let other people tear you down. Okay, that's the one thing I would say. And also, just in general, if we could just go to the Mazda design, I think everyone would be happy with that. Like, this is just peak Sonic. This is better than Unleashed. This is better than Unleashed. I am saying it right now. And also, can I just say how Mazda is at it again with the most beautifully CGI of Sonic? Yeah, this is quite an old tweet, but I just love the way that Sonic looks in this. I believe that this is the best iteration of modern Sonic that we've seen officially. I'm saying officially. And also just, the way that Super Sonic actually has ambition in Crossworlds, I love it too. But yeah, and also we got some news from Sonic and Friends, no, Sonic and All Characters, that the soundtrack of Sonic X Shadow Generations has been nominated for the PlayStation Game Music Awards. Oh my god, I'm so happy for Sega. Make sure you guys go to Sega's Twitter, Sonic's Twitter, Sega's Twitter, TikTok, anywhere, right, and tell them congratulations, because this is great. And I'm so proud of not only Sega themselves and Sonic Team, but also the fans for giving Sega the right direction. Because if it wasn't for us changing the movie, and obviously them, we would not have seen the sales, which in Transland would not have made the games high quality, which in Transland, again, wouldn't have made the overall experience so much better. So thank you, all of you, and also make sure to subscribe and like if you like me as well. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.